Happy Friday, everyone. I'm Ann Birchard. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today we are going to make this really fun, cute card using the, drumroll, Butterfly Brilliance and the matching die set, Brilliant Wings, and the Many Messages stamp set. There's a link above where I showed how to use the many messages and its matching die. There are all these messages, one stamp, one die, and then you've got a wonderful collection. So when you make a card, all you have to do is go into your stash and add it. So let's make a card. I'm going to start off with the Fluid 100 watercolor paper. And I'm going to be using the watercolor pencils. And of course, if you can see, I've got it all set up in my Roy G. Biv. So let's start off with red. This is real red. And we'll be using the entire piece of paper. And you're just going to scribble. Then some orange. I overlap a little bit. And when I come in with the water painters, I will also overlap a little bit as well. And onto my yellow, which is Daffodil Delight. You think this is hard? It's not. My favorite type of coloring. Come in with the green, and this one is, doesn't say. But it's a green. Granny apple green. Again, overlap just a bit. Okay, and then our blue Pacific Point. And I'm going about an inch, inch and a half wide for each of these colors. Then this one is Melon Mambo. And then my last one is Rich Raspberry. Before I start watercoloring, adding the water, I'm going to make sure that my stamp set is going to cover it all. Looks like I need a little bit more Rich Raspberry down here. And then I'll go back up here at the top, add some more real red. All right, here comes the magic. I'm going to be using the water painters. There are 3 that come into the set, and each one is a different size brush. I'm going to be using the broadest brush. You ready? Here's the hard part. You give it a little squeeze, get the water flowing. Gonna make sure I have my rag here so I can wipe off in between and just paint. Wipe it off a bit. I was inspired to do this card by another card that I made, but instead of using the watercolor pencils, I used the blends to create my rainbow, and I will have a link up above to that video. Okay, give it a little more squeeze, get the water running. Look at that. So don't tell me you can't color. There's no coloring skills necessary. Here we go. All right, and I'm just going to keep brushing this off, wiping it off, And look at that. Simple. Set this aside. Let's wipe this up. All right, I'm going to bring in my heat tool. Now when you're drying, hit it from the front and also hit it from the back. And that'll keep it from warping. Flip it over. And back again. There we go, we'll call that good. Bring in my Stamparatus, and I'm going to be using washi tape on the very edges to hold this down. So what I've done, take out the rubber mat, because remember your formula is if you have rubber on the stamp, you don't need the rubber in the Stamparatus. If you have a photopolymer, then you'll want the rubber underneath so you get a nice impression. So again, I'm going to line this up with my stamp on top, press it down, lift it up, and then tape it down on the edges. Because it's a huge background stamp, sometimes the magnets will get in the way. So I just want to tape it down. I think I'm going to add some more, because it's just washi tape. If you don't have washi tape, you can use purple tape. You can use regular Scotch tape, but put it on your sleeve or jeans to pick up some lint and take off some of the sticky so you don't ruin your project. Okay, let's test one more time. Okay, is the washi tape in the way? Nope. Yes, it is, this guy. So let's just adjust a bit here. Okay, one more time. Looks like we're good. All right. Now, we're going to be using StazOn ink. You have to remember opposites attract. StazOn is an alcohol solvent, so you want to use the alcohol with the water coloring. If you use the Memento, let me bring that in. Memento is water-based, so it's going to smear if I were to use it on my watercoloring. But Momentum is good for the alcohol blends. I'm sorry, for the Stampin' blends, because they are alcohol based. So you want to use opposites. I'm going to be using this StazOn. Now remember to use your stamp case as a wonderful little ledge, so when you're inking it up, it's nice and flat. Make sure it's nice and covered. But with the Stamparatus, if we don't get a good first impression and nothing is moved, we can do it again. All right, give it a nice massage. We want that nice and covered. Let's see. Oh, a little more. I might have to get it up and give it some CPR. All right, I'm standing up, giving it some CPR. I also used this stamp set in my monthly newsletter. If you would like to subscribe, text ANNBIRCHARD, all one word, all caps, to the number 22828 to receive my newsletter, and I will send you this one if you are interested, where I used it as a background. Looks like I need one more stamp. It's a little fuzzy in here. So let's ink this up. The other thing is, don't forget that when you buy the stamp set and the die, you will save 10%. Who doesn't like to save money? All the supplies I've used will be listed in the description box below. Okay, I've given it 2 massages. Let's give it a little more CPR. Don't think there's much more I can do. Perfect! Love it. All right, let's take this off. Normally I would clean my stamp, but I need the StazOn cleaner for this, and I will clean that afterwards. So let's bring in the Stamparatus, the Cut and Emboss, or the Big Boss. This is so Ann-proof. On the base plate, it tells you what sandwich you need to make, and that's 1, 2, and number 3. We're going to take our project, add our die, and match it up. And I've got more washi tape on here just to make sure it does not move when I'm running it through. Okay, I think we're good. I can even recycle the washi tape from holding it down on the Stamparatus. All right, set that down. Now, I'll be honest with you. I thought this die set was going to cut out all these butterflies as one. I was pleasantly surprised when it cuts out them all individually. And that's great. Now I have more options with these butterflies. Okay, let me put this here, and I can set this aside. And now we can build our card. I'm going to be using basic white for my card base. I cut it at 5.5. You can either score at 4 1/4 or just fold it in half. Bring in your bone folder for a good crease. Oops, sorry, a bit loud. Let me set that aside. And then this is Smoky Slate, and I cut it to 5 1/4 by 4. So that will give me a nice 1/4 inch border all the way around. Now, I used this layout as my guide. So the first top one is here. Then this one. He's down here. That's my hair. He's here. Oop, that startled me. This one and this one. I'm going to pop up these two. The rest, I'm just going to use Stampin' Seal. Now, since I just did that, that was a good dry run. Good practice, everyone. I want to add this to the card base, so I make sure that my butterflies are not going outside the card, because then it won't fit into the envelope. Okay, one more time. Here was my top one. Again, just using Stampin' Seal. And I placed it so his wings aren't going out. Okay, that guy goes there. He's up here. This one, he's down here. Oops, come on. No, that's not where I want you. Right about here. this one's gonna get stamped up, this guy. Put him down in this corner. All right, and for these two, I'm going to be using Stampin' Dimensionals. Now the sides of the Stampin' Dimensionals, still good, still works. I just rip it, or you can cut it. You don't have to be as aggressive as me. Take off the release papers. Add it here. And then this guy, let's see, some on the top and one on the bottom. Perfect. Take off the release paper. And add this little one down here. It's looking good, but we're not done, because you know I need my wink of Stella. Give it a good shake. There's even a little sign that says push here. That'll get it flowing. And again, since this is alcohol based, it will not ruin your watercoloring. Look at that. Can you see that shimmer? Let me finish this and I'll hold it up to the camera. Okay, let me hold that up. Can you see the shimmer? But we need more bling. Let's add some rhinestones. I'm using the Take Your Pick tool and the spatula end, picking up some of these little guys. Trying to pick up some of these little guys. There we go. Remember, odd numbers. And I think one right in here. Almost done, almost done. Let's bring in those many messages. I stamped up a bunch and I put them in our clear envelopes, and they're sitting here ready for me to add to any card. I'm going to be using the Happy Birthday. And just grab my Stampin' Seal. There we go. And add it down here in the corner. Ta-da! There you have it. A simple card. We used watercoloring pencils, the Butterfly Brilliance, and the matching die set, many messages, some rhinestones, and look how brilliant that is. I love all those sparkles. Well, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this crafting experience with the civil engineer. Don't forget to hit subscribe, like, and share, and I will see you next week. Have a great day. Bye.